A Texas boy stole his father's identity, obtained a credit card, and took his friends on a whirlwind shopping spree of video games, electronic gadgets, and a $1,000 an hour hooker. It may not have been enough to hook the media if it weren't for the additional too good to be true detail. He didn't hire them for a night of wild sex. He only needed them to play Halo with him. Another story here we have, and it is, let me pull it up. Sports teams, well, sports teams have long threatened to move out of a city, right? Whenever they do not get the brand new fancy stadium. Well, Congress is actually considering leaving Washington if they don't get a new capital as well. What else do we have here? Some interesting articles. Okay. A man was able to use the power of his lungs to fly. Another one. It was hard for most of the mainstream media to ignore this story. Let's see here. George Bush. Okay, an email went out that says that George Bush had the lowest IQ in presidential history. All of these stories, big stories that got a lot of traction. And you might be asking yourself, yeah, these sound realistic, right? Well, they're all wrong. They're all fake news stories, and the mainstream media picked them up, and they believed them. One of them, the one I thought was really great, was the one about Washington and our Congress members wanting to get a new capital. That was actually picked up. It was written by The Onion, which is a satirical site, and China had actually picked it up as a legitimate news story. And Congress now apparently is using fake news as well to push their agenda. I'm Brian Crawford. This is the River's Edge Radio Network. I'm broadcasting live from Millville Studios here right on North Avenue. We're powered by NJL WebTech at riversedgepgh.com. Honest, practical, and affordable. You can go to njlwebtech.com for all of your web servicing needs. That's right, kids. Congress is using fake news to push their policy agendas. Mayor Bill Peduto has decided that Pittsburgh is going to become a sanctuary city. And I have to ask myself, do we really have that many illegal immigrants in Pittsburgh that we need to become a sanctuary city? I understand that there are a lot of concerns with our immigration policy, and that many believe, and I don't think it's unrealistic to believe, that maybe it needs a little bit of updating. But the law is the law, and if you're going to be in complete defiance of federal law, maybe it's not so unreasonable to think that you're not going to get federal funding. And I actually did work with, and it's funny because people like to say that, these Mexicans that come here, they're all lazy and they're bums and they're just going to collect welfare. Well, I know that I worked for a landscaping company for a short time, and they hired Mexicans that would come in. They would come in just for the winter, or I'm sorry, not the winter, the summer seasons to do landscaping and things like that. And these people were extremely hardworking. And an interesting story about the Mexicans who came to work at this landscaping company is that they actually, the house that they were living in, and there were apartments right next to the building, and the apartments, they were not owned by the company just leased them. Well, the wall started falling down on the building, and the company made right and put the workers into other housing, into hotel rooms, but it was crazy. Just crazy. Like, literally, the wall started falling. And, I don't know. The fake news, the illegal immigration, sanctuary city situation we have here in Pittsburgh. I guess my biggest issue with it I don't really know how I feel about I do know how I feel about the immigration policy. I do think it needs to be updated. I think it needs to be revised. But do I think that it's okay to completely spit in the face of federal law and then expect to receive funds? No, I think that the mayor in this case is doing a bit of grandstanding. This isn't what's best for the city of Pittsburgh, let's be honest. If the Pittsburgh loses federal funding to address a problem that we realistically don't have, I don't know. You're not putting your citizens first. You're putting politics first, really. And I think that's pretty disappointing of the mayor. Now, if he wants to push for new legislation to make it easier to become a legal citizen or to migrate from another country, I could respect that, but just complete defiance of the law, and then you expect the money to keep flowing. I'm sorry. This area desperately needs federal funding. We need more federal funding to fix our crippling infrastructure. Terrible, terrible, terrible decision. And as our infrastructure is falling and bridges catch on fire and all sorts of crazy things like that, we're going to see if there are things to do that are worth getting out and taking that dangerous journey throughout the crazy roads of Pittsburgh. We're going to talk about that with Amanda Narcisi of Bold Pittsburgh. We're going to talk to her next. You're listening to the River's Edge Radio Network, broadcasting here from Millville Studios.
Hey, this is Matt Geica, your host of Geik's Got Game, 8 a.m. every Friday here on the River's Edge. I'll take a peek behind the sports media curtain, zoom out for the big picture, and as always, obsess over the details of the sports, teams, and players we love or love to hate. It's Geik's Got Game every Friday at 8 a.m. on the River's Edge.
All right, welcome back to the River's Edge Radio Network. On the phone right now, I know you're sad and you're unhappy because you missed Bold Nights Out this morning, but that is okay because we have a little taste of Bold Pittsburgh right here on the River's Edge. Amanda, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm awake.
Yeah, me too, barely. I'm struggling today. We went out to Mullins yesterday it was like in the afternoon. And, I sleep during the day and had a little bit too much vodka, so I'm a little rough today. That, and I haven't, really slept in days. Not like a true sleep.
Yeah, I had a good night out last night, and then this morning, 6 a.m., chainsaws and a truck, tree grinder outside my house. Apparently a tree fell.
Wow.
In the road, and I was like, what is going on? And
trapped.
The blur of just seeing my house surrounded by police cars and stuff, I kind of was like, frantic for a moment because the house was filled with flashing lights and a tree grinder and chainsaw noise. You never know.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, at 6 a.m. in the morning, I felt bad for the neighbors who have little kids.
Yeah.
We don't have kids, so I was like, oh, it just woke up me and Steve. But at the same time, the neighbors who have little babies, I'm like, oh, I feel really bad for them.
Yeah, that's awful. I always get into weird situations where I live because here in Millville, they're constantly filming the Outsiders, so they're always taking over my street, and I always am waking up to something crazy, really, just bizarre, weird fake props and weird old-timey police cars and things like that.
It can make you wonder if you woke up at a different time.
Sometimes it does, yeah. Sometimes you look around, you're like, there's no...
succeeded in my sleep.
There's a random market that pops up, and I'm like, that's supposed to be a parking lot. That's not a market, and... It's quick. They're quick too. They build it and take it down that day. It's crazy. So what is new? What's going on this weekend? I can tell you one thing though that I don't know if it's on your list, so I'm gonna jump the gun here. This Sunday at Ham Bones, the acoustic brunch, the River's Edge will be broadcasting the acoustic brunch, and it is also a toy drive for Toys for Tots, so you can go to the River's Edge Facebook page and find that event to find out what is acceptable to bring. So there's event one.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I was going to actually mention another friend of the River's Edge is having their CD release party this weekend.
Oh, who's this?
Crow Moses is having
Nice.
a
Woo!
CD release party at James Street Gastropub on Saturday night.
Nice. Fantastic venue, fantastic band. I love Crow
Yes.
Moses. They're awesome. I got to go to one of their events. We had them on the show, and I was there when they played at the Thunderbird, and I was for their last release party, and that was unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm super excited for their sister CD to re-release this weekend. They have buttons. They have a bunch of other stuff there. The event page on Facebook and kind of some different posts. The music video is up already and everything. So tickets are relatively inexpensive. It's perfect for to head on out and have a night out and listen to some great local music. The Nox Boys are playing with them too.
Nice. They're fantastic as well.
Yeah. We have two kind of homemade markets this weekend. So my Made It Market is out in McCandless at McCandless Crossing. There is two empty storefronts next to the Panera Bread, if you're familiar at all with McCandless Crossing. They'll be having two markets there for I Made It Market. So you can go in and shop local. And then also at East End Brewing, they're going to have crafts and drafts. So this has food trucks, local vendors, like handmade vendors, and beer.
Nice.
So you can't beat that.
No.
The ugly sweater parties are going on throughout the area. So just check your local bar for that. Santa crawls, all those types of things are going on at the current moment. So almost every bar in the city is having like some type of Christmas holiday party.
Yeah, that
Not
seems
to
to
mention
be.
there's an entire bar now that is Christmas.
Oh, really?
If
Where's
you
this
haven't-
at?
So the Miracle on Liberty, we talked about it on our podcast this morning. It was 536 Liberty Avenue. It basically looks like you went in your grandparents' attic and pulled everything out that was Christmas and hung it in a bar.
Nice.
It is only up until January 2nd. It's literally like they're calling it a pop-up bar.
Okay. See, that would be cool. Go ahead.
It is headed by some of the few bartenders who've been known in the circuit, like who've been featured in Pittsburgh Magazine, City Paper, things like that. They just decided to do a Christmas themed bar. So if you're out shopping, you can stop in there, and the whole menu is Christmas themed. Like you can't. There's not just normal. Oh, I'm sure there's normal. You can get like a rum and coke, but the no, I'm getting head shakes of no. Like apparently the menu is completely Christmas, and that's it.
That's it. I feel like that could survive though. I mean, you look at Jekyll and Hyde. It's a Halloween bar. It's up all year round.
Right. I thought of when I saw pictures of it. I have yet to step inside of it. I thought of it a lot like Bob's Garage.
Okay.
Which is a local bar here that it's just, there's stuff like all over the walls and it's always something to see and it's interesting and eclectic. But yeah, I could see maybe it could survive all year round. But they said January 2nd, that's it, they're done with it already. So I thought it was interesting. Maybe we'll be back next year, something like that. Two sports events going on this weekend. Pirate Fest is going on this weekend at the Convention Center. So if you are a baseball fan, you can head down there and play games, have chances to win items, and meet your favorite Pirates. If they're still on the team by this weekend, we all know there's trade deadlines going on, and trading and shopping going on. And then also I want to talk about where I went last night.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of Penguin games this weekend. And there's a brand new restaurant that opened up called Share on Center.
Okay.
It's actually inside of the Cambria Suite, which is behind the console. So not too many people venture past console to go out that night unless they go to parking up at the top of the hill. But Cambria Suites is under renovation. They are due for their grand reopening next week. However, the restaurant is open, but it's only open during Penguin games, and
Okay.
it is amazing. They have an outside fireplace
Nice.
area. They have amazing food. We were having fish tacos and brisket last night and some hamburgers. It was amazing. So a little shout out to them. If you are going to Penn's game this weekend, head over to there, and instead of stopping at just the Marriott, head up the hill a little bit more and to have food, because that is the first time there's been a restaurant in that hotel.
Oh, really? It's the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're doing things like $4 cans of Labatt for Penguin games.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So there hasn't been a restaurant in that hotel ever. That hotel was strictly like go in and sleep that had a small bar. It was always dead during Penguin games because everybody would stay down more.
Yeah.
But they just opened this brand new restaurant, amazing food, great prices. I saw some of the prices. It was nice. It was really relaxing, great, big, nice, big bar. So.
Yeah, I don't understand why
recommend it.
everybody fights to go and park at that arena. You would think some of these other restaurants would kind of boom during the Penguin game, because I know personally I end up parking in the Strip District and walking, because to me there's nothing worse than that bumper-to-bumper traffic trying to leave the not Console Energy Center, the PPG Paints Arena.
It's okay. I will always call it Console. So, I take the T in and out when I have to go to games.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I would do.
But even that's standing room only. And I don't know why everybody deals with traffic over there. I understand if you don't live near a bus line or a trolley line or something else. But literally what happens is they only know about 2 or 3 restaurants. And
Yeah.
those restaurants, you can't get a meal. It's overcrowded. You're waiting 2 hours. You miss Face Off, so on and so forth. And this restaurant, it's called Share. They literally are only open during 10 games right now until the development starts. And then they're talking that they don't know what will happen next. They're the first Cambria Suites to have a type of restaurant
Okay.
in their venue. So I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. But I was blown away by the fact that I could sit there next to a fire pit and drink a beer and have a complete look out of the city next to PPG Paints Arena.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It was kind of cool. It was a little bit more laid back. I know I get stressed out going into the overcrowded restaurants. I get high anxiety. So something like this was perfect for me. And I got to try their menu last night. It was delicious and wonderful. So a little shout out to them if you're headed to a Penn's game this weekend.
Very cool.
And that's about it going on. I mean, in the next few weeks coming up, you do have first night to start to think about for New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you don't have any type of reservations yet for New Year's Eve, you kind of are not going out.
Yeah, out of luck. I personally, and I know this isn't the bold nights out way, but for New Year's Eve, I like to throw my own party. I feel like there's no other party in town, and I can't, unfortunately, because of my job. I wasn't able to last year either, but I feel like there's no party that's going to stand up against the party that I throw for New Year's Eve. But like, New Year's is my favorite holiday. Like, New Year's is Christmas for me, and I wait all year round for New Year's to come up. So
that's awesome. We went to a private party last year. A friend threw a party, and that was awesome. We had a blast. But like the year before that, I went out. I went and watched the fireworks from a corner table at Eddie Merlot's, which is like right there. I saw the fireworks. But so I saw both sides of it. I've been in the city during first night. I've been in the city during New Year's Eve. I've been at private parties. I kind of just, I always go back to the year of 2000, like when the millennium changed over. I was in a horrible car accident like 2 days before New Year's Eve. And everybody always asks, what were you doing during the switch over from 1999 into 2000? I said I was sleeping because I was in a horrible car accident.
Wow.
I literally, and Y2K was such a thing. And if you were a computer person like I am, you had this deathly fear that you were going to wake up and your alarm clock wasn't going to work, computers were all going to fail. Our bank accounts were going to be empty. There was like this true fear about it. But I woke up at 12:01, saw my alarm clock was still working, turned on my computer, and I went, "It's all good," and I went back to sleep.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean,
too.
I've done the complete lameness side of that too, where I've just left their New Year's Eve.
Well, I won't go to a friend's party. Like, I just won't do it. When I was a kid, and I'm going to talk later as we get closer to New Year's about my personal experiences and why I think New Year's is such a fantastic holiday and some of the memories that I've had. But one little sneak peek I will tell you is I used to go to family parties. They were great. I was invited to a friend's party, and it was so boring and so lame that I decided right there I would never go to a friend's New Year's party ever again. So we'll get into that.
Yeah,
that's a teaser.
I have high anxiety at parties anyway, so I'm like, for a person who's out and about in the city, I have very high anxiety going into things, so I can completely understand where I kind of freak out like the day of the party, like, I don't want to go. I think it's this, but like, which drives everybody else insane because they're like, she's canceling again.
That's funny. Well, whenever I throw my New Year's party, you'll have to at least try to come out. It's going to be, last time I think I spent, and this was just for like a handful of people, I spent about $300 in decorations and food.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's my favorite holiday. I go all out, and it's definitely a blast, so.
That's awesome. I like that.
Well, read Amanda's work and all of the other great work at boldpittsburgh.com, and you can listen to her show, Bold Nights Out, on demand on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, all of that good stuff, and of course, always at riversedgepgh.com. Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you.
Coming up, we are going to have JJ of Alter the Design. He's coming up in just a little bit. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Pittsburgh's Voice for Local Music. You're listening to The River's Edge.
Would you be interested in developing conscious choice? Would you be interested in creating reactions rather than waiting for one to come? Would you be interested in combining serendipity and synchronicity? Would you be interested in making 1 + 1 = 3? Would you be interested in finding out about full impact mindfulness? If so, I challenge you to join myself, Jim Ellermeyer, a cognitive behavioral health therapist, every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the River's Edge, where we will challenge you to allow us to help you help yourself to fully participate in your life. Let the adventure begin.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of TRE News. I'm Brian Crawford. Breaking news coming from the shore of the Allegheny River when a boat, that's right, a boat from the Gateway Clipper Fleet, the good ship Lollipop, has been attacked. Breaking news coming in. We're getting our information here. We have reports coming in from WLOL. They spoke with Mr. Stephen Lipko, marine biologist, about the situation, and he's claiming that the good ship Lollipop was attacked by a creature within the river. That's the word coming from Stephen Lipko. He says that there were measures in place to tackle beasts coming from the rivers, but with the mayor of Pittsburgh deciding to make the city a sanctuary city, it seems that the federal government has already stopped funding federal initiatives, including waterfowl maintenance and water monster maintenance. So without the federal funding, according to Mr. Lipko, I'm reading the information right here, that the safe measures that were put in place to prevent this type of disaster have been eliminated. Tragic. Oh my God. I'm watching a video right now from WLOL. It seems that the good ship Lollipop, not only was it in flames, but now it is cracked in two. a giant tongue has actually come out and licked the lollipop 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and snap! It's gone. The good ship lollipop is no more. Fake news. It can be fun, but it can be dangerous if you think it's real. Just like if somebody thought that well, I guess that could be real. I don't know. But Stephen Lipko, though, he's been on the show before. He seems like he's somewhat of a phony in my estimation. Up next, we have JJ of Alter the Design, and then we're going to close out the show with a weird news story. Stay tuned.
I want to start a business, rent a mullet. I always feel horrible when I hear my voice. I'm like, oh my God, it's like the hairs on my back go up, or the hairs on the back of my neck, rather. The hairs on my back going up would be something to see, like a fucking porcupine. Hey, Money Bags, tune into Funny Money at 7 a.m. Thursdays.
Did you hear Tom? He said 7 a.m. Tune in.
All right, this Friday, December 9th, doors at 7 p.m., show at 8 p.m., we have Alter the Design. And with me right now, that's going to be at the Funhouse at Mr. Smalls, but with me right now, we have JJ of Alter of the Design, and he's calling in from work. How are you today?
Good. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know that can be tricky trying to run off and on the work day and make it in for an interview. I know I've done similar things. It can be crazy. But yeah, I'm excited. The Funhouse. And it just turns out, and this is a very rare situation, I'm always off Monday, Tuesday nights, and for some reason I am off Friday, Saturday this weekend, so it looks like I will be coming by, so I'm excited.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, some great bands on the bill. We got Silence Fall is making their premiere here in Pittsburgh. Winter's Descent, who is very dear and near to our hearts, of course. They all are. We have Resistance 13 and Neverwake. So it's a pretty exciting show.
It is, yeah. I'm very excited, and I always love going to the Funhouse because I can walk there, which is always nice.
There you go.
So tell me about the show, and tell me what we can expect this Friday.
Well, this Friday at Smalls, of course, it's been a long time coming. A lot of bands in Pittsburgh are starting to put their hands together and shake versus walk away from one another, and build a unity and, a community versus competition. For a long time, the Pittsburgh scene has been very competitive with one another as far as bands are concerned. And this show is really to represent a family that we built, and we keep inviting more in and more in to show unity versus that competitive nature. It's really special for us because it's bringing all of our fan bases together in one night. And what's really cool about that is with our family, our fan bases are shared too. So you see our fans following each of these bands that are playing. It's just it's a start of a resurgence of the Pittsburgh scene.
Mm-hmm. And I really definitely get what you're saying about the Pittsburgh music scene and how it is coming together. I feel like that's got to be unique to Pittsburgh. I've asked some other people about this as well. I look at the willingness to work together that you see across, really even across genres. Obviously, people of similar styles of music are going to play together and be more cooperative, but you look at some of these major festivals as well, and you've got people of completely different genres and backgrounds that will share a stage together, and it does seem like it's a very collaborative community, and I just imagine that's got to be a rarity, or at least an anomaly, as opposed to the norm in other places around the country. Is that accurate, do you think?
It's starting to be accurate. There are still the issues that remain, that have been around for a long time. And don't get me wrong, we're not the sole starters of all this. There were, a lot of bands that have the same mindset, but we're the ones that kind of pushed to make a family out of it. We kind of organized this and it was a lot of work, and it's been a long time, and it's been several shows and months of collaborations and things of that nature. So I would say that it's sort of accurate, but not 100%. But yeah, it's really going to be an awesome show, and not only that, but it's going to really be a better scene in Pittsburgh. I mean, it's really building, and we're seeing it from other bands outside of our family too. That we invite into our family. We're very, our arms are wide open. Come in for a hug.
So tell me about Alter the Design. What's unique about your band? And you guys are going to be joining the River's Edge Radio Network, so I'm really excited to hear that. That's going to be awesome. But tell me a little bit about yourself, about the band, and we have a few minutes here. I know you got to get back to work, but I wanted to touch base with you and kind of let people know what was going on.
So yeah, sure. Alter the Design was probably founded about 2.5 years ago now. But the current edition of Alter the Design, which we hope will be the final edition of Alter the Design, pretty much came around maybe 8 or 9 months ago. Within that time period, we were able to put out our first album, Welcome to Our Nothingness. It's really awesome. We had Chris Galvez from who's a drum producer, work on our stuff. He's worked on big name bands like Asking Alexandria and stuff like that. We had Chris Wayne from Sarver, PA, who is in Fist Fight in the Parking Lot. He did our drums for the initial tracking, and our own Corey Wow. He produced, mixed, mastered, engineered the entire thing. So it really came together well. So we're excited about that. And then, we were recently sponsored by Black Craft Whiskey, Bobby Shabensky, who's really done a lot for us. Just one of the things that they did is they rented out a whole venue for our CD release party out of their pocket. So that
Oh, wow.
they showed us love that day. Yeah, so it's really cool. And he's married to the WWE diva, Rosa Mendez. So she was out with us last night at the Masters Inc. viewing party over at Frankie I. And we're playing there Sunday as well for a benefit for Officer Basham, who unfortunately was shot when answering a domestic call in Cannonsburg. So all the proceeds are going to go to Cannonsburg Police Department and his family. So we're really excited about that too. So yeah, Alter Design's really picked up the pace lately.
And it seems like you guys, just from talking to you now, you do a lot with the community.
Absolutely. It's a goal. We're trying to not only market ourselves, but we're trying to give back as well. We've been fortunate to gain a rather large fan base in a short period of time, and we want to continue to build that fan base and give back to wherever we can.
How are some ways that you're looking to do that in the future? I know that's something that I have been pretty impressed with in the music scene here in Pittsburgh, because you do see a lot of that. We're sponsoring an event this Sunday, or we'll be promoting it and broadcasting it from Hambones, where they're going to be bringing in toys for kids who cannot get presents because their parents can't afford it. And that was just something that was thrown together by some musicians. They're not making any money off of it. And you just see a lot of this in the Pittsburgh music scene. I think it's pretty cool to see artists giving back to the people who really enable them to be able to perform and come to shows and things like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're actually doing a toy drive on Sunday as well.
Oh, what time is your toy drive?
The toy drive at Frankie I's. It's the same benefit show. They're doing a toy drive and a Chinese auction, and a lot of businesses that come together and give baskets for the cause, and it's going to be a really awesome show. Some really good bands there too. You got East End, you got Stampede, you got Ambient Chaos, the Boot Hill Gang, Good for Friday. Hoping not to forget anybody, but there is a lot. It's really impressive to be able to put an event on like that. And that's actually in Washington, PA.
Okay. What time does that start?
I think it's at 2 p.m. till 9 p.m. So it's like
Oh, there you go. See, the acoustic brunch with the toy drive at Hambones is from 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. rather to 2 p.m. So you can go to Hambones and then go down to Washington, and you could support the toy drive twice in one day.
There you go. I like that.
Perfect. Come out though this Friday, the 9th. Doors at 7 p.m. Show starts at 8 p.m. And it's only like $10 to get in, $10 to $12. So that's really a steal. Right here at the Funhouse at Mr. Small's. JJ, we have to get you back sometime, preferably in studio or at some point when we can talk at a lengthier interview and get to know you, because I think it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited to see the show. I'm excited to have you on the network, and I think everybody listening is gonna want to hear more from you.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Black Craft Whiskey, who sponsors us. Big shout out to Winter's Descent, our family. Never Wake, Silence Follows, Resistance 13, Daily Grind, Old Lords. We love you guys.
Absolutely. You said Old Lords. Are they on the bill?
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
But Old Lords played at our CD release party, and they are also in our brotherhood because they're sponsored by Black Craft as well. So.
Well, I think they're going to be joining the network on some level that I can't disclose yet, so that's a teaser for you. You got to follow at Rivers Edge PGH on Facebook and Twitter. Keep following us. Eventually, we're going to come out with a very badass announcement. So, but yeah, Old Lords will be, I believe, part of that announcement. So, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate what you guys are doing here in Pittsburgh too. I mean, anything that gets the word out there and gets more people away from their TVs and away from their video game consoles and brings them to some rock shows. Music saves lives, and that's why we do it.
Well, hopefully people will keep their cell phones in their hand, though, and tune in to the River's Edge on their way to these great shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
JJ, thank you so much. I know you have to get back to work. I don't want to keep you too long, but but please, let's schedule something in studio sometime, maybe on a Saturday or something, and we'll have a lengthier conversation, and we'll talk about some weird news and stuff going on in the city, and just see where it takes us.
Absolutely. Yeah, we will definitely set something up.
Sounds good. That's JJ from Alter the Design. You can hear him, see him Friday, December 9th, this Friday, 8 p.m. at the Funhouse at Mr. Small's. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too. That's JJ. I'm Brian Crawford. After the break, your weird news, and we'll wrap up the show on this Wednesday edition of River Talk here on the River's Edge. Come on, go! It's green! Come on! Go!
God damn it, Brian. You need to calm down
Yeah,
with
I'm
the road
sick of
rage.
these people, these assholes.
The road rage, man. You gotta calm down on the road rage.
Well, I want to get to where we're going. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. We're going to Falling Water,
Bicycle Heaven.
the Mattress Factory,
Tuck Knob.
Trundle Manor. All right, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Come on,
right,
come on.
Right.
Too late now.
Right, come on.
Well, too late now. I got to keep going. I'm not going to sit here like some asshole.
Oh, come on, man.
All right, you're listening to The Culture Cruise. You can find us at riversedgepgh.com.
Your local Pittsburgh area museum podcast.
Yes, riversedgepgh.com, and come take a ride with us. Tori Shinneman is a great spoken word poet, and you can hear her often at the Hambones Acoustic Open Mic on Tuesdays, or the Funhouse at Mr. Small's Open Mic, the Acoustic Cafe on Mondays. And Tori has this one particular poem which is really fantastic. She prefaces it as, she talks about, the politics that's going on, so she kind of makes you think it's a political poem, and she's talking about Bush. Not the President Bush, but the vajayjay Bush. Yes, the vagina. And there's an interesting story that's coming out that I'm going to share with her because I think she's going to enjoy it. It says, if you like things down below to be as smooth as a baby's bottom, you may want to rethink things. A new study done at the University of California in San Francisco reports that people who regularly groom their pubic hair are 75% more likely to develop a sexually transmitted infection than non-groomers. So, what they're saying is it's good to have hair down below. Everyone does shave nowadays. That seems to be the thing. Everyone shaves, which is kind of weird because in a lot of places, being trashy seems to be in style. Not that having hair in your vagina or penis is trashy, but usually, you know, if you shave, it's a high-maintenance type of deal, right? So, interesting story, but I'm going to share that with her. I think that's kind of crazy. But that's it for me. I'm out of time, and I'm not feeling... I just don't feel good today, so if I'm a little off, that's why. But we made it through. We worked through the day, and we stuck to it. I'll be back on Friday. I'm looking forward to that. We'll have Tara Molesworth. She'll be back producing the show again. She had to step out today because she had to work. So she'll be back on Friday. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. And don't forget, alter the design. Like, I'm just not feeling it today. I'm feeling the show. I had a really good show planned out, but I didn't execute that well because I just was, I'm just not feeling that well. I kind of am struggling, but we made it. We made it through the hour. I wouldn't say I didn't perform well. I just wasn't feeling the energy today because I just don't feel very good. So I'm going to get some rest and hopefully come back at you Friday with a little more of a pep in my step and a little more energy, and maybe I won't feel quite so sickly on Friday. So, well wishes to me. And well wishes to AwesomeCast. They will be on tomorrow at 8 a.m. Good stuff coming from them, as always. The premier technology podcast in the Pittsburgh area, which broadcasts here 8 a.m. Thursdays at riversedgepgh.com. I'll be back on Friday. Don't forget, Alter the Design Friday night and Chrome Moses on Saturday night. Awesome weekend of music. So glad that I will be off. I'll see you there. Catch you Friday.